Let's see what these interactive toys do. Another glorious day. Makes me sick. It's Halloween. Well, it's not. September 2nd, but there's a bike coming in. It's September 2nd and fall is coming. It's one of those things, isn't it? September 1st and you want to shed all your summer vibes and go into that cozy autumnal thing. But I mean, look at me. I'm in a vest. So it's still quite summery here. Consistently warm in Vancouver during the summer, which is fantastic. But I'm ready for autumn. So we're gonna go Halloween shopping. We're going to Spirit Halloween, which is all over TikTok, and it's such an American thing. I've seen it for a couple of years now, and I'm like, oh, I wish we had this in the UK. So there is one in Canada, Spirit Halloween. It's this whole warehouse, apparently, of Halloween stuff. It is across, further into Vancouver, so we're walking across Camden Bridge to get there. So I hope it lives up to his expectations. Vancouver, where you are literally on a film set wherever you go. A car just went past with a big camera on a crane, and there was obviously filming a car going across, and the police were behind it making sure everything was okay. So yeah, we will be in the background of a film. So guys, you know, check out that film that comes out because you'll see us for sure. So there it is, so we're gonna go in. So I'm not really sure what to expect at Spirit Halloween, but we don't have things like this back home in the UK, and if we do, then they are very rare. It's mainly like TK Maxx and that sort of stuff, but I mean, this is a whole dedicated shop, so I've got high expectations, so is it gonna live up to the hype?
You're a fool! Who's going down? Enough of us. And you'll terrorize the living until we all miss that. Are you with me? Halloween is
This is like couture. I'd wear this like daily. Jack, it looks like you. Hello, Jack. Oh, I thought it was going to be soft.
Favorite, but I took care of that.
Let's get the show. What does this need to do?
Careful where you're going. I'm trying to sanitize this place first when I'm done. Nothing's gonna be left living.
Hey guys, wanna buy a Ouija board? I do. I don't know why, but I always feel like somebody is watching me for some reason. been looking for a new cauldron for ages. Went into the Halloween shop, didn't buy Halloween costumes or decorations yet, but I did buy a box for my tarot cards and a Ouija board. We just got back from Spirit Halloween. It is a great shop if you want to go for your Halloween costumes, your Halloween decorations. They even had Halloween mugs there. There was so much like hocus pocus stuff as well, which I really loved. Back in the UK, we've got like TK Maxx and we've got like a few sort of Halloween shops that sell it, but at least from where I'm from, it's not as popular. You don't really see shops like that. So going into basically like a warehouse for Halloween was very interesting. And I did actually buy some stuff there. So I bought a little wooden box in the witch section, and I bought that for my tarot cards because it's not just a gimmick. I was like, oh, that's fun actually. I actually want that. So I bought that. And then I did buy something else. I bought a Ouija board. Here it is. So I saw this on the shelf, just plain as day, classically, casually selling a Ouija board in Spirit Halloween. And I just thought, I used to have 2 Ouija boards back home. I've used a Ouija board in the past. I used some on my ghost hunts, because I used to go ghost hunting quite a lot. So I used Ouija boards then. But yeah, the other 2 that I owned, I didn't actually bring over with me when I made the move. So I saw this on the shelf and I thought, is that an actual Ouija board? Or is it like, just for, is it just like a fake one? Is it just like a show for show one? But no, it was an actual Ouija board. So I was like, I think I should buy that. So I bought it. And the ironic thing about it is it's literally a board game. It is marketed as a board game. The Ouija board is. It's owned by Hasbro. And it is, on the back of the board, it says for 2 or more players, age 8 and up. So it's like marketed at kids to just buy a Ouija board and go and play a Ouija board. So, I mean, fine, work. If that's what you want to do, like, great. And I took it to the counter and I took it to the cashier and she saw me with it and she was like, oh my God, are you actually buying one? And I was like, yeah, like, why not? I'll buy one. And she was like, oh my God, you're braver than me. Like, I'm so scared. I'm so worried about this. And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I've used one before. It'll be okay. She's like, are you actually going to use it? And I was like, yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous to use it and I'm not going to use it in this video. So if you're watching this to see if I use the Ouija board in this video, I'm not. I'm just going to talk about it. But I bought it because the history of the Ouija board is an interesting one. It's a very, very much strange one. In 1891, advertisements started popping up in newspapers and things like that from Pittsburgh, and basically they were advertising a way to commune with the other side and talk to the other side. And such was the popularity of that it ended up being just a fun activity to do in the evenings. The Ouija board wasn't something to be feared. The Ouija board was something to be embraced and to offer that connection from our side to the other side at any time of the year for anyone, all the classes, all the different types of people. Anyone could use a Ouija board. It actually really pissed off the mediums because mediums were losing all their clients because it had become so accessible and so popular. I mean, just one New York store, just one of them sold over 50,000 in a day. Like, it just went crazy. And it happened because of the American spiritualism, and everyone just was all about spiritualism at the time that the Ouija board started coming out. And so it wasn't something to be terrified of. It was simply just something to connect with people that they had lost. The intended market was that it could be for anyone, not just this spiritual person. And so the mediums got really annoyed because everyone who was coming to them to try and contact somebody that they had lost in the war, or a child or a mother or a father, well, they lost all their clients because everyone was just using the Ouija board, doing seances casually. To get the Ouija board approved, they had to take it to a patent office, and they took it there, and the patent officer basically said, I want proof. You don't know my name. I want this board to spell my name. And the board spelled the name. So it got approved. It got a patent because the officer was so scared and so shocked that it had worked. He was like, okay, it works, off it goes. So where did the myth or the truth or the horror stories come around the Ouija board? Well, that came from the release of the film The Exorcist. And that was because in that film, Regan uses a Ouija board to speak to the other side. And of course we know, if you've watched The Exorcist, but anybody just knows references from The Exorcist, she used the Ouija board and then got possessed by a demon. And from that moment on, the fear of The Exorcist and the fear of the Ouija board became so common that everyone denounced it. And that was because they believed that using the Ouija board was a form of dark magic, of evil, of darkness, and by using it you were actually talking to demons that were going to possess you and turn you into horrible things. Now, there were lots of horror stories that came with that, such as like murders. The Ouija board had told people that they were going to go and murder people, and so they went out and murdered people. Somebody who was being taken to a psychiatric hospital actually said that she wasn't manic, it was just because the Ouija had told her to kill her mother, so that's what she did. So a lot of horror stories came from that, and Hollywood saw this as an opportunity to really make the Ouija board something scary, and they used it as a massive plot device. So in those films, the Ouija board was a demon board. And that is why when you look online right now, a lot of reviews are all 1 star. And it's because people are denouncing the Ouija board and calling it evil and saying that you should not be playing with something so evil and so dramatic and something that's going to end in disaster, basically. So when I've been using the Ouija board before, and when I've spoken to people who have used the Ouija board before, a lot of people have had just either no experience or very mild experiences with it. And also when we have discussed the Ouija board and things like that, it's using it respectfully. So if you actually did want to use it, you've got to make sure you are putting things like your protections in place. You've got to make sure you are being respectful, being polite, and make sure you always say goodbye. If you don't say goodbye, then basically the demon or the evil spirit will come out and kill you. So always say goodbye. But what's crazy about the Ouija board is that Hasbro, the popular game company, owns the Ouija board, which I think is crazy. And the fact that it's just on the shelves when you can just go and buy it, like you used to back all those years ago, you can just buy it and use it casually, and that it's marketed at 8-year-olds. I mean, it's just crazy. From 8 years up, anyone can use the Ouija board. So you have to kind of wonder what the truth is of the Ouija board and whether or not you want to use it. Now, some people will not want to use it and other people will want to use it. But I thought it was interesting, and I thought, I think I'm just going to buy one and see what happens. But I'm not going to use it yet, and I will have to work my way up to being brave to actually use it, if in fact I actually do use it. But I thought it was just too good to miss, and I wanted to buy one. If you want to find out more history on the Ouija board, then you can actually listen to my podcast, which is right here, right now. And you can find this podcast on any streaming platform, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. And you can listen to this podcast episode where I discuss the history of the Ouija board. Shall we see what's inside? Okay, here's the board. So as you can see, the board, the classic A, B, C, D, etc, etc. You've got the numbers, you've got yes or no, and you've got goodbye. And this is believed that this is what is the communication between the other side. It's made from a wood material, so it's quite hard. And then we've got the planchette that you use. So this is the classic planchette that you will put on the board, and this is what you will place a finger on, and hopefully it will move when you are communing with the other side. Now they do say that when you are storing your board, make sure that this planchette goes underneath the board, or at least away from the board. You don't want to put it on top of the board, because apparently that is the way to keep the communication open. So that's going back underneath, and my board is going back on top of it. So that's what comes in the box of a Ouija board. So if you're thinking of buying one, that is what you will get. Just always be safe, be respectful, and see what happens. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to go to Spirit Halloween. Maybe you'll buy a Ouija board, maybe you won't, but it's up to you. But go to Spirit Halloween because it is great for all your Halloween decorations. And this is an advert, it's just because I love Halloween and I thought that shop was great. So make sure you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will see you next time.